Hello, everybody. It is Taylor along with just Bryan for the Roundtable Challenge recap. Jake may join us later if he gets my message. Barb has the night off. So it has been a while since we came here to discuss a challenge. We were actually supposed to be meeting to do the recap on Sunday, but I was feeling under the weather. So I went ahead and moved it today. It's good to be back and discuss what was a really, really, really fun episode of the challenge that proved that some of the rookies really don't know what they're doing. We will get to that eventually, but let's go ahead and start with where we left off from the season premiere. It continues immediately from last week. Ashley just lost the elimination to Natalie, and as the winner of the crater, Natalie gets to choose whether or not she wants to stay with Wes, switch partners. She can go with CT or choose any of the other partners. And no surprise, she decides to go ahead and stay with Wes, which I think was a really, really smart decision.
I actually knew. I had a feeling she was going to stick with Wes because from the beginning she knew how Wes plays.
Mm-hmm.
And so I knew there was no way she was going to change partners.
No. Especially this early in the season.
Exactly.
It's going to be – we're probably going to see it a lot. We did see it on Wednesday. We'll talk about that, but we'll probably see a lot more of it as the season goes on. But first episode, especially with such a good partner as Wes, it would be really dumb to switch at that time. Even if she would have went with CT, because CT is such an amazing competitor.
Yeah,
it would have been a really dumb decision.
Yeah, because both Wes and CT are good masterminds.
Mm-hmm.
They can get it doesn't always work for Wes, but I know that Wes can get people far. He can get people on his side.
Yeah. Now CT is actually now regretting not picking Cam because, of course, in the first episode, Cam was really adamant on partnering with CT, and of course, after CT didn't want anything to do with Cam, that's when Cam decided to rally the troops to try and get rid of CT. Of course, that failed because it was a female elimination. But they talk. But one thing they've been keeping really, really showing a lot of is a lot of Joseph just being weird. We saw him in the first episode sleeping while everybody else was partying. And then last episode, he was doing these really weird leg exercises.
I don't know what he was doing. I know it was funny because I liked Big T's commentary. She was like, basically, he was doing this WAP dance and I thought it was I don't know what
she said if it were a Tinder switch situation, she'd swap right. I think that Big T and Joseph has to be one of the weirdest challenge matchups of all time, because we have CT that is very or not CT. We have Big T that is really outgoing, and we have Joseph that's kind of odd. He comes from America's Got Talent. Yeah.
I did find him very strange, and he didn't know what was going on or what he was doing.
A very, very odd partnership. Hey, Joe, check on the pizza.
And also, it was like
let me pause this for a second. But yeah, Big T. I love Big T, but not the biggest fan of Joseph. He's pretty talented singer. He got the golden buzzer on America's Got Talent, but he is horrible at the challenge.
I never seen the season of America's Got Talent. I've never even heard his music, so I didn't really know much about him until he got casted. And then he's like doing these like WAP, like whatever exercises, and then at the mission, like Big T was saying how he doesn't understand that you need allies, and like
Yeah.
he didn't know what he was doing at all.
He just thinks he's there for a vacation. And
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I don't think they're in Iceland this season. To me, that's not a very appealing place for a vacation.
No, it's cold too.
Yeah. So anyway, we have Nani, who is talking to Cam and Nicole. Nani isn't a fan of being with Kyle because she's here saying that Kyle is more of a social player than physical, which hearing that is really odd because I haven't watched in the past few seasons, but most of the time he does seem like he is pretty physical in the challenges.
Yeah, he is physical. He is a good physical player. So I don't know where she came up with he's just a social player and he's not a physical. I think he's more physical than social, honestly.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe she just doesn't like him. But anyway, and then we have Nam and Lolo. Lolo is actually surprising me. She has yet to really cause any drama or really do anything that I thought she was going to do.
Yeah.
Because when we saw her on Celebrity Big Brother, she acted very full of herself. She was aggressive, not very popular in the house. Not many people liked her.
And she was over the top.
Yeah. Very full of herself. Just a really, 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 really bad attitude. I haven't really seen that much of her. Now we have her and Nam, who could eventually have some sort of showmance.
Yeah, that's basically like in this episode. They did show kind of like a showmance between them, like.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see that going somewheres, but I don't,
Yeah.
But I was actually surprised also that she has not stirred any drama or anything.
Yeah. But it's still early in the season. We still have a long way to go, and I think they said that there are 19 episodes this season. So there's going to be probably a lot of drama as the season continues.
Oh.
So anyway, the challenge this week was called Ice Spy. So it involved them going into the water. They had to get these big blocks of ice, come up and melt the ice, and get out these little pegs that were called kills and put them in the slots of their fellow teams. 3 kills, you're out. It was a pretty kind of a bland challenge. And it really, really showed that everybody is really scared this early to make a move because they were like putting the kills and they eliminated Wes and Natalie first, but I'll give them that. But then they were starting to eliminate like Cam and Josh, Nicole and Devin, Teresa and Jay, Gabby and Leo, teams like that, instead of getting out the really, really big teams. And in the end, Anissa and
Fessy won.
Yeah, Anissa and Fessy won.
I also want to say this, that like when they got Wes and Natalie out, Leroy went for the kill and put it in Natalie and Wes's. And I'm like, they're already out. I was like, what was he thinking? They were already out, so why are you putting it in theirs?
Yeah, I don't know. But Anissa and Fessy won their second challenge, which was kind of surprising. I wish somebody like CT's a rogue agent, so he wasn't competing this week. But Wes and Natalie, Cam and Josh, even though I think Josh is one of the most delusional challenge competitors of all time.
Yes.
Big T and Joseph, even though Joseph's kind of weird. Anybody but them, even though I'm a fan of Anissa and I think Fessy's a big physical competitor, not the brightest person they've ever had on the show. But of all people, to let them win a second time is just really, really dumb.
Yeah, I didn't understand why they all just let them win either. Like, they had so many chances to get them out. Like, you just saw that they won the first one. You would think you would want to get them out right away.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of stupid, they start discussing and talking about who they want to go in. And Joseph volunteers to go into the crater.
Oh my God.
This is after your second challenge. You're a rookie. Second challenge of the season, you're volunteering to go into the challenge or go into the elimination. That is one of the dumbest things you could do.
Yeah. I was like,
I understand
what?
you're wanting to prove yourself, but especially when you're up against so many good people, it's not a really, really good idea. And another thing everybody wanted was discussing West going in. And then we have CT wanting to thinking about who he wants as a partner. And then West pitches an alliance with himself, CT, and Corey, which I like the idea of. I like CT. I like Corey. Fessy's okay. Wes is starting to grow.
It was Corey, Fessy. It was Corey, Fessy, and CT, wasn't it?
Yeah, with Wes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Wes. And I thought that was, I thought that right there, that's a strong line.
Yeah.
They could make it far. But also, when Joseph was discussing with all of them about like him wanting to volunteer, and he wanted to go against Wes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? You want to go against?
I thought that was
you're
funny.
you are a rookie, and you want to go against seasoned veteran?
Yeah, the former champion and a former Survivor winner who also made it to the final Tribal Council last season.
And it's like you basically said that Wes has to earn his stripes. Wes has won.
I don't know. So they're back in their little private club, which they've set up for him at the house this season. Fessy talks about eventually pairing up with Nani. I think that they'd probably be a good partnership. I would hate for Fessy and Anissa to break up, especially since they're doing really well together.
I agree.
And then we have the continuing flirtmance with Nam and Lolo. Lolo's trying to figure out whether or not her and Nam, or whether or not Nam has feelings for her. I'd really like to see them kind of end up together, especially because they're both very athletic. I think it'd be a really, really cool couple to come out of the challenge.
I could actually see them getting together, honestly.
So they go into the deliberation room again, and of course Joseph decides to volunteer to go in again. He gets his wish. The majority of the group votes him and Big T in. And at the elimination, Anissa and Fessy decide not to volunteer themselves to go in again. Even though that TJ was sort of throwing shade, I still don't think it's a good idea for them to go to try and earn their red skull or their golden skull rather this early in the elimination. I still think that they should wait a little while before they do it.
I actually want to go back to like when they were going to deliberation. When they were deliberating, basically Joseph basically called out Wes, saying he wanted Wes to go in, but see, when he was talking to other guys, he was saying that he wanted to go in. But when he went into deliberation, he wanted Wes to go in, but he didn't want to go in against Wes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you just told everyone you wanted to go against Wes.
Yeah.
Now you don't want to go.
So Joseph is all confused. So
yeah. And then when they went into the elimination, I actually thought that, to me, I thought that Fessy was playing scared because it was basically, if you looked at the elimination, there was like a ring in the middle of a big circle. So you could tell it was going to be physical.
Yeah.
So I thought I think I honestly thought he should have won it
Mm-hmm.
because it was an easy win because
Oh,
you're
yeah, especially
against
Joseph.
Joseph.
Then again, this is the same guy who put up one of his own allies on Big Brother for no apparent
Yeah,
reason.
exactly.
So
I know.
anyway, so after declining not to go in, Anissa and Fessy, to everybody's surprise, choose Kyle and Nani to go in. I mean, I don't get the rationale. I think maybe just to make Joseph look like an idiot.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they would have chosen Wes and Natalie, Wes would have immediately defeated Joseph. Maybe it's more to do with the fact that Wes would have got a skull, earning a spot in the finale.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
I don't know. I think that, like, if Wes went down against Joseph, he would have won.
Yeah.
But he would have probably got rallied people to go against Fessy and Nisa.
Probably.
And I'm pretty sure that people would have done that.
Mm-hmm.
But then...
Go ahead.
With Kyle, I was shocked that they actually put him down there.
Mm-hmm.
But he did lie to them. So, but honestly, people lied, so I don't see the big deal. But I never, like, when he went down there and how he was dragging Joseph.
Yeah, it was painful.
I never thought that Kyle could be like physical.
Yeah. Threat. So of course, it was one of the it was kind of like pole wrestle, except it was more like a ring. You had to wrestle rings from each other. Kyle easily won. You had to score 2 points to win. He just got them both out 1-2 punch, and eliminated Jacob or Joseph. You know it's going to be a bad partnership when your own partner doesn't even know your name. So.
Oh, I know.
So after the challenge is over, of course, Kyle gets to choose. Since he won, he gets to choose whether or not to stay with Nani or switch partners and go with somebody else. So in the end, Kyle kind of shocks everybody and sort of one-ups Nani and switches. He goes with Cam, forcing Josh to be with Nani, going from a physical competitor to a sort of physical competitor who thinks that everybody on the challenge is scared of him, kind of thing. So now we have Nani with Josh. We have Kyle with Cam. I like the Kyle and Cam partnership better.
Me too.
I do feel sorry for Nani because she's with Josh.
I do like that Big T, though, is with CT now.
Yeah, I do like that. I think that they're going to make a really, really good pair.
Oh, I definitely do.
I think that they could win a lot together and eventually maybe even win.
Yeah, I definitely like her with CT. Big T is likable and CT is likable, so they could definitely make it far in this game.
Mm-hmm. And of course, one thing I like about Big T are her confessionals are absolutely hilarious.
That's actually
anything she says is amazing.
That's actually what I like about her. Like in every season that she's been in, but I think like this season she really has been like hilarious.
Yeah. So, of course, we have an episode tomorrow night. We have new teams competing into the challenges. We have CT and Big T, Cam and Kyle and Nani and Josh. It looks like there will be some sort of fight this week. I hope nobody ends up getting
Yeah.
sent home.
Well, from the previews, there was an ambulance that they did show
Oh, yeah.
ambulance.
But
So,
that could always be sort of something that happened at the challenge, though. So
yeah.
it'll be interesting to see.
Well, I definitely think that someone's going to get into a fight with CT. So that's for sure.
I just hope CT can keep his composure because he's had a good track record for the last 10 or so years. He hasn't been sent home for violence. I would hate for it to happen to him now.
I really hope he doesn't get sent home, but I don't know if that ambulance has anything to do with the challenge, or if it's because of the fight,
Right.
or.
And one thing I found interesting about the elimination is that TJ announced that it was a male elimination. It makes me wonder if they're going to switch it up and not have go female, male elimination just back and forth. Maybe we'll see where we have maybe 2 male eliminations in a row, or maybe if it'll be a double elimination some weeks where they compete as teams.
Oh, I didn't think about it.
I think there are going to be a lot more twists this season, and it's going to really, really keep things crazy.
I definitely think there's going to be a much more twists this season. And I cannot wait to see how this season progresses.
Yeah, and this early with all this going on, I can't wait to see what happens.
I mean, in the trailer, you definitely can see there's going to be a lot of drama. Because also in the sneak peek, it also showed, well, not the sneak peek, but the preview. It showed that Fissy got in a fight with someone.
Yeah. Fessy usually is a pretty calm guy, so if there's a fight with him, there's a problem.
I kind of feel like he's going to get a fight with his alliance. Because he did basically tell them that he wanted Wes and Natalie to go down, and then he lied to Corey and CT.
Yeah. I mean, we'll have to see. And tomorrow night we do have a new episode. The teams will compete in another challenge. There may or may not be a fight. Somebody may get injured. We don't know what's going to happen. But, of course, this Sunday we will cover it. Also coming up, starting next week, we will start covering The Masked Dancer, which premieres this Sunday night on Fox. Also, in the coming weeks, we have the premiere of Hell's Kitchen, which we'll be covering as well. February 14th, the new season of American Idol. And at the beginning of 2021, we also have our new daily show where we discuss all the latest news topics going on and give sort of our own opinion on it. Of course, Barb and Jake couldn't join us tonight. Hopefully they will be back with us next time. Until then, everybody have a very Merry Christmas. If you celebrate Hanukkah, Happy Hanukkah. Also, if any of you celebrate Kwanzaa, Kwanzaa is a Saturday as well. Have a happy Kwanzaa. And we will see you next time.